No, Mal was just a terrific guy, given that here I was from the country, and he didn't have to spend any extra time with me, or didn't have to go out of his way to make me feel welcome, but he did.
The Raiders reached their first grand final in 1987, but the year had another significance for Mal. It was the first time he suffered a broken arm, an injury that would plague his career.
Well, I said, hit the goalpost and it shattered the arm. So, I mean, I had to get a plate put in and to piece it all together. When you put a plate in, it takes all the pressure away from the fracture side to allow it to heal, and a lot of pressure is put on the screws and the end of the plates where the pressure is. So I kept on, unluckily, getting knocks on that, whether it be, in a tackle predominantly, and it just cracks, kept on cracking along those screw lines and end of the plate. So just a matter of bad luck.
To watch him from the sideline continue to return to the field and step up a notch from even the standard that he had previously been playing at, I think increased everybody's assessment of what he was like as a footballer and also as a person.
I think it just made him a stronger person. It probably contributed in a positive way to Mal's leadership, because he had a bit of time away from the team as well to reflect on himself and where he was going with his footy, and he came back, dare I say it, better and stronger.
Just to see how Mal bounced back and how resilient he was in terms of overcoming a serious injury. I think he may have broke his arm 3 or 4 times. His desire to get back out there on the field, I think that galvanised the Raiders.
In 1989, with the Raiders building towards their golden era, coach Tim Sheens awarded the captaincy to Meninga.
I was still in the recovery period with my broken arm, and it wasn't until early in the season I got my opportunity to play again, and Tim just felt that it was time to give me the captaincy, and I was ready. It was time for me. I was 28 years of age, and of all that experience, I did coach or captain the south side in Brizzy in '84. Didn't enjoy the experience, too young, wasn't ready for it, but I was ready for it in '89.
I don't think it changed anything about his game. It can do that. The captaincy can do that to players. They think that they need to be leaders a little bit more on the field. Well, Mal was the captain because he was such a natural leader. He was that kind of person.
The 1989 grand final between Meninga's Raiders and the minor premiers, the Balmain Tigers, is widely regarded as one of the greatest finals of all time. The Raiders trailed the entire match after 2 first-half tries gave the Tigers a healthy lead. The inexperienced Raiders outfit, under the first year of Mal's captaincy, looked destined to suffer the club's second grand final defeat.
Rugby league's about mental toughness, it's about mental aptitude, it's about getting on top of your opponent, about hanging in there.
The Raiders were inspired to fight back. The game was to become a defining moment in the career of Mal Meninga, both as a player and as a captain.
When you needed something done, Mal was always the man who did it.
With the Tigers leading by a point and bombarding the Raiders' line late in the game, a try would have sealed the premiership. But Mal stood up and led from the front.
Some massive plays from Mal. Yeah, that ankle tap on Nick Neal, that was enormous. That was game over. If Mal doesn't lunge and make that ankle tap, game over. They score, they're too far ahead.
As the clock ticked down, 1 point would have been enough for the premiership. But again, Meninga was there to spoil it for the Tigers. With moments remaining, Mal watched on as the face of the Raiders' season hung in the air after a kick from Chris O'Sullivan.
Well, I thought Chicken should have just went for the line, but he stepped off his left foot 4 times to score near the post, And then afterwards I kissed him because I'm a goal kicker and I'm hopeless at goal kicking. I just kicked as quick as I could. I don't want to think about it. That comes with experience, doesn't it? You just put the ball on that sand as a toe poker and just kick it as quick as you can. Don't think about it, and make sure it goes. It went through sticks and 40 more.
The Raiders had pulled off a brilliant comeback. They'd recovered to level the scores and take the game to extra time. With the match still in the balance, the Tigers tried to work the ball out from their own half when Meninga swooped.
Meninga, he's offloaded the pass away to Jackson. Jackson, oh, he could have put the pass away, he might need to. Jackson, oh, the arm out and scores!
It was Malva's try, wasn't it? You know, he's tackled. No, he's not tackled. No, he did that try. You know, so fantastic.
As the siren goes, and the Canberra Raiders have won the grand final quite incredibly.
Emotionally, it was the best time I've ever had in rugby league. You know, emotionally, it's all those years of preparation that goes into to win the premiership. You never, I mean, again, it's about that success in the Sydney competition, win the premiership, captain that footy side, back of 4 broken arms. You know, all the trials and tribulations to get there was, you know, it was the most emotional I've ever been. I broke down and cried, and I'm not ashamed of that. You know, it was just it all poured out. It was a highlight of my football life.
Mal Meninga. They're tears of joy from Mal Meninga.
He'd played for Australia, played for Queensland, and to see him crying after that game, you just knew what it meant. And for him to overcome his broken arms and overcome people writing him off, it just shows you what a true champion he was.
It was just pertinent that Mal Meninga was the man there, the player who was the catalyst to the success of that club in a very successful time, that he was actually out there as the leader and he was holding up the trophy and, you know, shedding a lot of tears on television, and it was just right.
Mal Meninga. He's still going.
The following year, after inspiring the Raiders to another premiership, Mal's leadership skills were recognised by the national selectors. He was given the country's greatest honour for a player, the captaincy of the Australian team.
It was just, you know, the evolution of Mal going on to become the Kangaroos captain, regardless of whether you played for New South Wales, Queensland, whether you played for Parramatta, St George, the Broncos or Canberra Raiders. Mal Meninga was a guy that you respected.
By the time Mal took over as captain, he'd already represented Australia for 8 years, during a period of great dominance for the country. In that time, Mal had played 22 Test matches and only lost twice. Australia had not lost a series in Great Britain for 31 years, and in 1990, it was Mal's responsibility to ensure it stayed that way.
Unbelievable reception for these guys, heroes at Wembley. They will become something of godlike if they can win the Ashes at Old Trafford.
In a 3-game series, Australia were 1-0 down. Another defeat would see Great Britain win the series for the first time since 1970.
Pressure was on. And, you know, here I am, captain of the footy side, and, you know, it's all rested on my shoulders.
With moments remaining, Australia led by 4 points. They'd done enough, it appeared, and were destined to level the series. Mal found himself with his back against the wall once again.
I can't remember exactly what Mal said, but I know it wouldn't have been anything negative. It would have been about the next few plays, the process, what we had to do.
The game was tied with less than a minute left.
You play with your eyes and you look for opportunities. You know, you look for opportunities, you look for little chinks in the armour, you look for, you know, space, and you look for, you know, players that might be injured. So you actually play with the eyes up all the time, and you play with a sense of adventure. You don't play with the blinkers on, you play with the blinkers off.
We're well into injury time. 40 seconds, in fact, as it comes away to Stewart again. Stewart throws the dummy. Now Ricky Stewart's on his own. He's up to the halfway.
Rick was never going to run the whole distance. I reckon he might have been looking for ET as opposed to me.
He's got support. Getting Alford with him. They can go to Meninga. And Meninga tries. Meninga scores. Oh, what a try. What a try. What a run from Stewart. And what a try. Meninga.
He was the skipper and he wanted to lead from the front.